Hi everyone, my name is Javi, I can draw. This is the fourth video on how to draw legs, and today I'm going to focus on the muscles of the back of the leg, especially the butt. It's awesome to know how to draw great butts, and I'm going to try to teach you today, so stay tuned. So, here what I have is two different persons with two very tiny butts, but they are going to help me on teaching you how to draw the back muscles of the legs. So first let's focus on that. Now, I told you before that the back of the legs were actually pretty simple because, well, you know, if you're going to be with overall shapes, there's going to be like this big bulge here, and there's going to be like this big bulge here, and that's pretty much it regarding muscles. But now I want to get into something just a little bit more complex, especially because the hardest part to get off the leg is not actually the muscles, but it is this tiny thing here. Like, what the hell is that? And what it is actually is just a bunch of tendons, because the muscle structure of the back of the leg comes like this. You have, if you start from the bottom up, you have all these tendons that are attached to this part. All of this is just one big massive tendon. The tendons are the stretchy part that is attached to the muscles. That is what allows, actually, when the muscle compresses, it pulls from the tendons that moves the different part of your bodies. Basically like pulleys. So you have this big tendon here that comes to this two muscles here that, well, in Spanish, which is called them the twins, I don't know the name in English, but it doesn't matter. So these have these two bulges here that if you see like really muscular men, you can tell the difference between the two bulges, and if you watch like my legs, you barely see any bulges. But they finish here, they come this way. And now from the top and from below the butt, I'm going to draw this line here. You have like two different muscle groups that kind of wrap around the leg just below the knee. So they come this way here. And these are the muscles that don't actually allow you to just simply see the femur on the zone of the knee. That I'm talking about what I was telling you on the previous section about drawing the knee. So you have these two that come this way, and then you have another one that just kind of the same. It comes this way. And this is, well, that's pretty much it. These are the muscles that shape the back of the leg. Now, actually, there are this on the top part of the leg, there are actually a lot of tiny muscles that actually form these two masses that I just showed you. It's a lot more complex. I don't really know it, and when it comes to drawing the back of the leg, you're not really going to use it. Now, this bulge here is actually the abductor, the one that comes from the front of the leg. And this one here is actually, well, now that I'm going to come here, is actually just this muscle that belongs to the big frontal mass that I was talking to you previously when I showed you the front of the leg. So now that you see this, you can tell that you can, well, pretty much see what this mass is all of these tendons of all of these muscles coming together. And yes, it gets just a little bit bulgy. It's no more bulgy than these muscles when they're being used. Now, regarding that, I believe that it's super important that we emphasize what these muscles do actually, because these muscles, what they do is that they pull your heel back. Like, if this is your foot, what those muscles do is they just pull them like this, like when you need to jump or something like that. Those are the muscles. or you need to really push, and you're like, you ever seen rugby players? Rugby players have these really big muscles. Oh, the calves, that's the name of the muscle. They have these really big calves, because when they have to do the scrum, they're using all of that force because they're like on the tip of their foot and just pushing. And that's what this muscle group does. And this muscle groups, well, this is actually the muscle group that bends your knee. It is actually called some sort of, well, biceps, because this is what it actually does. If this is going to be your leg, like this is your foot, and this is going to be your leg, like your elbow would be your knee, this muscle, the bicep, would be that muscle on the top back, and that's exactly what it does. It's pretty neat, right? So now, if we have to draw those muscles here on perspective, you would have, well, it's pretty simple. You would have these things here, like you would have the calves here. Actually, there's another muscle here that gets just right here that is sometimes visible when you're running. And then you have like these muscles here. They just come this way. They get attached like this. And well, here we come the knee. Remember, we've seen the knee already. And actually there comes like this really big tendon here that kind of gets attached to all of the muscles on the butt that I'm going to explain you right now. And there's also just some muscle here that I really kind of don't remember or know, so, but well, that doesn't matter. But these muscles that we are focusing in just come this way. This is just tendon. I am amazed. I just found this out today. Just before I do these videos, I do all this research, like just an hour before, because I'm trying to learn myself, and I try to do it so I can explain it to you better. But sometimes I don't know everything. I'm not an expert at this. I'm just learning like you. So, well, the calf is like here. It's this thing here. So that's pretty much it for the leg. Now, let's focus on what we came here for. The butt. Now, actually the butt is comprised by a lot of different muscles. I'm going to leave this here. And the thing about the butt is that, well, since I'm focusing on the movement that those muscles were doing, if we're going to draw the butt, the butt gets attached to a tendon that is just in this particular zone, and then gets attached to this tendon here that I was showing you before. It kind of has this shape, and that is the gluteus maximus. There's a gluteus maximus, a medius, and a minimum. The medius, you kind of see it here sometimes, but they're all below the gluteus maximus. That is the one that you see, and that is what we usually call the butt. And if I had to draw the fibers that make this butt, they would come this way, like this. Then this means that it compresses this way. It compresses towards this. So whenever your leg is, well, just a bit stretched, and you need to bring it, like, you know that exercise that I'm talking about, the one that a lot of women do at the gym to have a great butt. They're just with their leg extended and they're just pulling. You know what I mean, right? Can you see this? Well, that's the exercise that you do. It's actually to bring this all this way. So the butt compresses this way. And well, the reason why we have actually big butts, even though even the smallest butt is a big butt, is that it is one of the muscles that helps us actually stand straight. You will see that, like, if you look at a photo of, I don't know, like different monkeys, the monkeys, since they're not standing straight, they don't have actually big butts, except for like baboons that have really big butts. I don't even know what I'm saying. They don't stand straight. I don't know. I know that it's actually one of the muscles that helps us like stand straight and place the hip where it is. But well, there are monkeys that with big butts. I don't know. Now, I want to focus on something else, and please, stop talking about monkey butts that I clearly don't know nothing about. And I want to focus on how well the butt gets shaped when it's moving. Now, this is like super easy. Now let's draw this, cube-shaped thing that is going to be a hip. Now this is going to be the middle of the hip. Now this is where always when I'm trying to understand where to place the leg, I draw on the square on the cube that would come to be the hip. I draw some kind of underwear, and that is like great, way of trying to place where the leg would begin, like this. So now, let's say like someone is just like walking, I guess. So this person is walking here. This is from the back of the person, and if they're walking, like if the leg is going forward, the butt gets stretched. And since it gets stretched, it kind of blends with this shape, the shape of the back of the leg. I'm going to start deleting some details so you can see better. And it kind of goes like this. This is like a stretched butt. But on the other leg, the one that is pulling up, and that is also pulling, like bringing the leg to the back this way. There's going to be like this muscle is going to be just a bit bigger, and the butt, since it's such a big volume, it actually gets compressed. I'm exaggerating this a lot. But here the butt is stretched and here it gets compressed. Like this is the volume of the butt. And in this particular case, the volume of the butt is just like, is not so concise, like pressed. So if you get to like continue this body shape, which is something that I don't usually do, not from this angle, like you will have like this. So depending on where the leg is placed, depending on the shape of the butt. Now, here's the thing. Usually when you think about drawing butts, you're thinking about female butts, and they're not, well, there are muscular female butts, but they're usually just round and like soft in a way. And that is because actually, well, there's a lot of muscle, but there's also a lot of fat. And that's what makes it so, so soft in a way. But for example, and well, I'm not really good at drawing butts myself, but we're going to try anyway. So drawing female butts, I have here a female butt. Like I'm going to draw like 3 little hips. Let's see. Like let's do a small, a medium, and a huge. And yeah, I don't know how this is going to look. So let's go with a medium butt. I'm going to put this just a little bit of an angle. So a really small butt is like a butt that you don't really know. This is usually with girls with really skinny legs, like not a lot of muscle and not a lot of fat. So it's kind of like this, you know, it's a really small shape. You totally understand what I'm doing, right? So this is like a simple, soft butt. If you're going to exaggerate here, like... It's just like, it's just a butt. And then if you're going to do just a medium, regular butt, I don't really know what I'm doing here. We're going to come like the leg is going to come this way and the other one is going to come this way. So this butt is going to be just a little bit more pressed. Now the thing is that when it starts to have just a little bit more fat than muscle, the places where the fat accumulates are like in this part of the leg. And then of course there's the butt. But if you're going to draw like big the bigger the butt you're going to draw, the more you have to start also widening this part of the leg. So this is more like, let me check. They're like the most awful butts. Like that butt is horrible. This butt is not so wrong. Alright, we're going to put like the bikini here. This one is, well, it's too skinny of a butt. And now if we're going to draw like really huge butts, which is something that I've never particularly done because I don't know, I never had the chance, I guess. Like, well, if this is going to be the bone, there's going to be a lot of fat accumulated here and here. So I'm guessing that it would be something like this. Like this part gets really wide. And this part, let me check. I don't really know what I'm doing. But this part, like this volume is here. This volume is here. But it does look like a bigger, fatter butt, doesn't it? I have to correct it a bit. I'm not a super expert on drawing butts. Maybe that's why you came. If that is so, I'm sorry. But the theory is here, and well, it actually looks pretty okay. It's not, it could be worse. But always when I'm doing these videos, I always get nervous and the drawings are not as good as I would like them to be. And then maybe like 15 minutes later, I try to draw a butt again, and it's a lot better because I had a lot of practice like right here on the video. It's always like that. But those three butts are three identifiable butts that you could see on like a beach, right? So, well, that's going to be it for today because I don't want to embarrass myself anymore just drawing butts because I'm not so good at it. And that's going to be it for this video, and it's going to be it for this week. So you know that on Monday there's going to be a video that is a compilation of everything that we've seen this week, and then next week I'm going to start with something else. I kind of know what I'm going to do, but I'm not really sure. So that's it for today. My name is Javi, I can draw. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!